Living with a rare condition is difficult. But for some whose outward appearance is so dramatically affected, it's inescapable.
Do you like taking your ears off to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Ping pong ball, right? Like that can fit right in there, no problem.
These people have some of the rarest and most difficult to treat facial conditions in the world. Their conditions have baffled the medical world.
I was given a condition that there's no name for, so we just call it the Nathan Syndrome.
Shocked and surprised the people around them.
There were some kids that told him he looked like a monster.
And made those living their lives with a dramatically different appearance very difficult. But these incredible people haven't let their condition stop them from living their lives in some extraordinary ways.
I like playing my guitar and playing tennis.
Get ready to be inspired by these amazing humans.
A lot of people would sit down and just say, you know, woe is me. But Nick has really taken it and he's made himself stronger with it.
From the moment we're born, society tries to fit us in a box of what is acceptably beautiful. And I want to shatter that box.
Starting with Nathan. Doctors are so baffled by his facial condition, they've been unable to name or give a reason for it.
When waking up, I have to clean my eyeball. I have to make sure my right side of my face is good, nothing is broken. A lot of people don't know this have a fake eye. A lot of people think it's real. When I tell someone, oh, it's a fake eye, they're like, what, bro? Like, what? My whole left side of my face is normal, as you can tell, ear, jaw. But on my right side, it's completely the opposite. My nose, I didn't have a nose growing up. They actually took a bone from my rib and put it on my nose. I don't have a jawline. Again, this is from my rib. I was given a condition that there's no name for. Obviously you can tell, so we just call it the Nathan Syndrome. One thing I heard was when I was in my mom's belly that I leaned to my right side on the wall, and that's why it wasn't developed. I've had a total of 37 surgeries. I would estimate that my surgeries cost well over $1 million.
We found out about Nathan's condition when I was about 12 weeks into our pregnancy. It was a second ultrasound that discovered that he was going to come with a cleft lip. The bills are endless, but it's not something that you can think about. You just do what you have to do and you deal with the bills as they come and as best you can as a parent. This one is actually when he's only had one surgery here. So his first surgery was to take out his eye. He had his first surgery when he was 2 weeks old. He was always laughing from day one.
Nate as a brother is very energetic sometimes. He could be too much, but I love him. He's a great person to be around and we always have fun every time we're together.
Despite having to live through so many surgeries to try and create the face he has now, Nathan has an inspiringly positive outlook on his unconventional appearance.
One of my favorite things about my face, my fake eye for sure. I can pop it out, make jokes to the kids, be like, boo. So this is one of my fake eyes, but overall, just my whole face, honestly. I just love it. It makes me who I am. My friends are really important. I think besides your parents, your friends really influence the person you become. I played baseball, I would say, for like about 8 years. Let's go play baseball! Right here, baby. Home run like I'm Babe Ruth. No one's ever really told me, but I'm pretty sure there's been some girls that I've liked, that I've gone after, that probably didn't get me because of my face. Probably at a young age it affected a lot. Right here, woman power, woman power. But growing up, I think girls become to realize not what's on the outside is definitely more on what's inside.
He gives like a good outlook on life, even though what life throws at him.
How you doing, sir? Alright, never mind. No, thank you. Love you, Coote.
And he's definitely a leader too. He knows what he wants and he knows what to do, so he's definitely able to achieve his goals.
Yep.
TikTok, I just like to create content. A lot of people telling me they like what I'm doing, I'm making them laugh.
Okay, ready, y'all?
Let go! I beat you in 1v1.
No, you did not, bro.
I know this man ain't talking.
Wait, I was just laughing.
What are you laughing at, list boy?
Bro.
Why you guys take it perfect?
Why are you talking to me like you don't look like the sloth from Goonies, bro?
Well, I was
you
just
guys
laughing.
It hasn't been easy for him, but he's a very strong. He teach me a lot. He teach me how to be a better parent.
He was an honor roll student in high school. He's in his second year of college. He knows that there is no limits for him. If he wants something, he's going to try to attain it.
I would never change anything about myself. I'm proud of who I am. I'm proud of who God made me. I don't want to change how I look. Everything happens for a reason.
Being positive about her unusual facial condition hasn't come as easily for Taylor, whose rare syndrome affects only one person in every 3 to 4 million people.
So this was the day that you were diagnosed with a condition, and it was Friday, 13th of February.
I was born with a really rare neurological disorder called no-deer syndrome. So it's basically like facial paralysis, and because of this syndrome I was also born with an outer extremity deformity, and mine was bilateral talities or clubbed feet. And around the age of, I want to say 11 or 12, I had a really invasive operation that was supposed to be able to make me smile, but it was unsuccessful.
And getting the news, that was really heartbreaking on the day, because you sort of thought, well, what's going to happen down the track? How will she progress? What will the teenage years be like? What will her young adult life be like? And all those sorts of things. So, so yeah, it was heartbreaking. Ugh. Whew.
I think my confidence got knocked out of me as I got older. I didn't want to go anywhere because I was insecure about myself. But when it comes to physical bullying, it's like, it's tough. So, you know, like I was pushed down hills, I had my bag ripped off my back, had books ripped out of my bag. I would get, like I'd be walking upstairs and people would kick my knees in from behind. You know, it was tough. Oh, of course it did. I would always look at people and be like, why can't I be them? Why can't I just be accepted like they are accepting everyone else?
Despite having such a hard time with her confidence, Taylor decided not to let the bullies get the better of her.
I first started the self-help journey around the age of 20. That doesn't mean I fully accepted myself then, but it's been 4 years of me really working hard in all aspects of my life to make sure I can live the best life I possibly can. When I started to own who I was and my appearance and everything about myself, my whole world opened up. And I'd sort of started getting better at the beginning of 2017. I was contacted by someone from Parafed Auckland, which is the Paralympic sort of body here in Auckland, and asked if I wanted to give athletics a go, and so I was like, sure, I won't be running anywhere, but I'll throw something. So they gave me a shot put and they said, just give it a go. So I threw it and they were like, wow, okay, you're pretty good. And then they measured it and they were like, oh, you've just broken the New Zealand record in your classification, where I competed and got my classification to compete internationally and also became world #1 in my classification by competing there, which was just incredible. Being an athlete has given me so much discipline and strength and confidence, and it's really set me up, and I think it really helped in terms of my recovery journey. Oh, everything's changed since accepting myself. My confidence, the way I interact with people, the way I interact with people online, being 100% authentic to me. Like, I'm probably one of the most sarcastic people you'll ever meet.
Gosh, I know. It is so hard being ridiculously, offensively attractive. Like, I get it. I'm so sorry.
and to be able to showcase that, especially on platforms like TikTok, like people just love that. I just don't care what anyone has to say, and just go with the flow, and accepting myself for who I am was the greatest decision I ever made, and it just keeps getting better and better and better.
She's got this intelligence there that is very underestimated, and yeah, Mum and Dad are very super proud of her.
I found myself, but I've also found my purpose. I know it sounds so cheesy, but I think it was all worth it. I'd say the main thing would be inspiring and empowering other people. I don't think I'll ever get used to that. It's something that still blows my mind today, that people can take so much from me and my story. If you'd asked me a few years ago, I would have been probably a bit annoyed or sad about it, and I probably would have wanted to get another operation that was enabling me to smile. But now I'm so more than fine with it. Like, I love not being able to smile, it's my superpower.
13-year-old Amari has one of the most severe cases of his condition in the world.
Hey, Amari. Hey, doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay, you ready for some lunch?
Yeah.
I actually knew when I was pregnant with him that it was like a 50-50 chance that he would come out with his genetic condition. Come on, little bud. Amari has a condition called NF type 1, which is incurable, and which causes tumors and throughout his skeletal and nervous system. So it just caused a lot of problems throughout his body, which the growths can come up anywhere on his body. Amari has one of the worst cases that you can get. So he was taking chemo medicine for a while, and it seemed to help a little bit, but he's not been on it for a year or so, just to see how the tumors act. Put it on there. So this year we probably have to start him back on some kind of chemo medicine, because it looks like they're starting to grow back, or grow a little more and faster. It's a lot, it really is. As he got older, it got more noticeable because the tumors grew. I'm trying not to get emotional. It was hard, it was very hard when I found out. Okay, it'll be done in just a minute. Amari, he's like any other young boy his age. It just, he has limitations of things that he can and can't do. His vision is very, very limited. He only can see out the right eye, which is barely, which is kind of covered up, his right eye as well, because of the tumors. So it makes it hard for him to do certain things. Like, he loves football, but he really can't get out there and play like everybody else because of his tumors. But he really doesn't act like he have a genetic condition or anything, because I look at him as a normal child. 2017, Amari got to meet the Harlem Globetrotters in Huntsville, Alabama, and he got a autographed jersey and a basketball as well. But he had a great time that day. He really did. He smiled the whole way there and all the way home. I was overjoyed because he still talks about it to this day. I have to pull the table up, okay? So you can eat. We're getting ready for EJ and Louis, Amari's cousin, to come over. When they come over, we're gonna probably go to the park somewhere and let them just have some fun together and spend some time together at the park. Hey, babies. Hey, my loves. Look at that. Now pray that something can be done. It's hard, it really is.
Because of how the neurofibromatosis has affected Amari's face, he's been judged harshly by people when he's been out in public.
Amari, he mostly plays with his two cousins, so he really doesn't really get out a whole lot.
We just like to have fun with our family and our cousin Amari. I know he has a genetic condition. I like hanging out with just the same. I like hanging out just the way he is. That doesn't seem any different.
I know the last time I took him to a park, there were some kids that told him he looked like a monster, so. And he hasn't been back to that park ever since. So I had to tell him that sorry. I had to tell him that he's not a monster. Main focus is Amari and giving him a better quality of life. Cause I don't want to have to focus on trying to figure out how I'm gonna get this and that paid. I made this GoFundMe in order to just help provide, because we have a lot of doctor's appointments that we have to go back and forth to. He inspired me in so many ways. He's enthusiastic about everything. He doesn't let anything get him down, really. I just only can hope that they find something that can really, really help him tremendously down the line. That can maybe even take all the tumors away. That would be a blessing right there.
Unlike the others in this film, Tina wasn't born with the condition that has caused her facial difference.
I was diagnosed with stage 2 nasal cancer in May of 2014. When I found out, I was devastated, just terrified. They wanted me to have radiation. The risks were quite profound. There was a great risk to my eyesight, risk to my brain, my saliva glands. I could have ended up on a feeding tube for the rest of my life. There's got to be another way. My best chance to be cancer-free is to have the full rhinectomy. The doctor said, "You're a young, attractive woman. We don't want to permanently disfigure you." I told him, "I appreciate that, but what good is pretty if I'm not here anymore?" I made the decision, just cut it off. I can remember holding my children before the final surgery and just breathing them in, because I didn't know if I would be able to smell them ever again. I can remember the last time I was able to put my nose to warm it in the nape of my husband's neck. You hold on to what you can, especially when you're facing something like your mortality. After the complete rhinectomy, I was worried how people would react to me, particularly children. Particularly my children. The first time our youngest son saw me without the gauze, he turned bright red, just started trembling. And he said, "Oh my goodness, Mommy, what happened to your nose? You need to go see Dr. Connor right now." Dr. Connor is his pediatrician. When he said that, laughter through tears. I'm sorry. I do put up a brave face, and I do feel strong, and I do feel brave, but I've had to fight for that. People say, "Well, how are you so confident?" Because I fought dang hard, and I'm alive. Nothing's more beautiful than alive. I'm pretty excited today. I'm gonna meet my daughter, Christina, out for lunch.
Hey, are you ready to go?
I am. Let me grab my jacket and my purse. We're out the door.
Alrighty.
Can I have kisses? Bye. And be good for Pop Pop.
The first time I saw my mom without her nose, I could tell by the way that she was looking at me that she expected me to have that wow factor. That, oh my gosh, you look so different. She's my mother. I was just thankful to still have her here.
I love you so much. Me too. When I first lost my nose, I noticed that the stares really bothered my family members. So what I told the kids was, "Well, honey, they're staring because they're trying to figure out how I still look this good and I don't even have a nose on my face." My face is without a nose, and anything that's different or deformed or anything of that nature is made to be scary. Society builds it that way.
After the operation to remove her nose, Tina was eventually given a prosthetic to wear, but surprisingly, she decided not to wear it.
I don't know if it's that I had lived 6 months without it. I didn't like the way it looked. I didn't like the glue. It irritated my skin. Like I couldn't breathe when I had it on. Not physically. I couldn't emotionally breathe. But I wore it for about 2 years. I just don't care for it, but maybe if I could get Reese Witherspoon's nose, it could look like Reese Witherspoon. And one day I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And I still have people that ask me, why don't you wear that prosthetic? You would be so pretty if you had a nose. I'm pretty anyway. I just stopped letting it define me.
I'm proud of my mom because all the stuff she's been through, she made it through.
What has that taught you?
Don't listen to other people if they say mean things.
I do get a lot of comments though where people are telling me how they're inspired by my bravery to put myself out there, no prosthetic, no conforming to what the world deems beautiful. I like to say a lot that society tries to fit us in a box from the moment we're born, and I want to shatter that box. I want to destroy it. I don't want anybody to ever feel like they're not beautiful.
Like Tina, Tessa also lives without a nose, but she is one of only 100 people in the world that was born with the condition she has.
It's disappointing that I can't smell the good smells, but it's awesome that I can't smell the bad smells.
Even if they were able to make an airway for Tessa with her nose, she still wouldn't be able to smell because she doesn't have the part of your brain that actually processes the smell. Tessa was born without a nose. It's a condition known as BAM Syndrome now. She also has limited vision in her right eye and none in her left. And she also then will probably need some hormone replacement to start puberty. The pregnancy progressed like any normal pregnancy, which meant that when she was born, it was a huge shock. And then very quickly, you just start to be worried for your baby because I didn't know if she was going to be healthy or survive.
To her parents' relief, Tessa made it through the tough first days of infancy.
Because she doesn't have a nose, at 8 days old, they inserted a trachea, and that helps her breathe.
So this is just changing the trachea tube. I'm gonna pop this one in.
It's too tight.
Too tight? So just in the same way as most people have a mouth to breathe through and a nose, Tessa has her mouth and her trachea. So whenever you don't have your speaking valve on, Tess, what happens?
My voice gets quieter and breathy.
And then so this is a speaking valve.
It goes louder. Yes. Healthy.
Healthy, excellent, Tessa. There are currently around 100 individuals in the world with BAM syndrome, making it one of the rarest conditions there is. Those are the pictures of your skull printed out.
It's awesome.
Hi, Miss Tessa. And she was the first person in the world to have a nose made using 3D technology. How are you feeling? They were able to put in a little implant in behind her nose and give her this little bump that was super cute, and that was her first nose. When she was 4, we went back over and they put in the larger implant. It led to some stitches reopening, some infections, and eventually they had to make the decision to remove the implant completely. And we're all ready for surgery on Monday. And right now she doesn't have any implant at all, so she looks very much like she did whenever she was a baby. Still gorgeous. Look, you're absolutely beautiful without a nose and with a nose. But she's really hoping that they're able to restart the process of getting a new implant. So hello, hi Dr. Ong. We're talking to one of Tessa's consultants at Great Ormond Street, Dr. Ong, about the next steps for Tessa.
So listen, we're gonna get design a little nose for you, yeah, and a little bit more fat grafting. Do you remember that? To give you a little bit more fat just near where your nose is. There's a small risk of infection, as you know, with any plastic implants, but we'll give you some antibiotics anyway, and we'll hope to reduce that risk.
Because Tessa's had some issues in the past, do you think this time then it will be successful?
I think we'll be much more gentle with that skin in that area. So I'm hoping that she'll have a new little nose.
That's perfect. That's what we want to hear. And we were just looking at your very first nose, weren't we? So there you go, Tessa.
That's the very first one.
Hold it up and show Dr. Ong.
There you go.
There it is.
I really want it like this.
Yeah, just like that. Yeah, because you were only 2 whenever that one was in, huh?
You'll get a brand new nose.
Yeah.
They're not going to use that
It's just
one.
the old one.
I am excited to get a new nose. I hope it's not scary.
But this time next year, he's thinking.
Yeah, they'll be able to do another surgery and she'll be able to have her nose in again.
The first thing I'll do when I get my new nose is going to put my glasses on.
Tessa has proved everybody wrong. She's exceeded everybody's expectations.
She walks into any room and she can lift the mood of the room and just make everyone happy.
I really can't wait for my new nose. It's going to make me really happy. My BAM syndrome will not stop me from doing anything.
While Tessa was born without a nose, Jacqueline was born with a rare condition which has affected her face so much so she's unable to speak.
My name is Jacqueline Rodriguez and I am 16 years old.
Jacqueline was born in 2001. They told us that she had a condition. They're now calling it lymphatic malformations. It's abnormal cells in her lymph node activity, and these cells just want to exist in her cheeks and her tongue and the floor of her mouth. When I was still pregnant with her, they were telling us that our daughter's quality of life would be poor. She may not make it to see her first birthday. They gave us a choice to end the pregnancy or continue. We chose life. They've tried to excise some of the tumor. It just kept growing back. We've been working with doctors to control the growth of her tumor before it was just growing and growing and causing her a lot of discomfort.
At first, she couldn't even swallow. We had to give her formula through her G-tube. Her tissue relaxed enough where she was starting to be able to swallow just a little bit. And she kept working it, and then now she puts down her formula, and that's all she has.
My parents help me by being my parents and try to make my life as normal as possible.
The tumor has affected her vocal cords, where she doesn't really have a voice. She has an iPad where she could use her speech program quickly to communicate and show us what she's thinking. I was the one who hated taking her out in the public because I didn't like people staring at her. And it was my son who said, "Mom, you know, it doesn't bother her as much as you think." And I realize that now.
Despite her bleak prognosis, Jacqueline hasn't let her condition stop her from pursuing her passions.
Not many people can say that their life expectancy was less than a year at birth, but is now like thriving at, how old is she? 16?
Yeah, I'm so proud of Jackie, like, especially with her recent accomplishments of playing guitar. Like, each time she, like, learns a new song, she's so excited to show us.
I like playing my guitar and playing tennis. I started playing tennis last year and it was a great year. Tennis helps with my confidence by knowing that I am strong enough to play a sport.
Being a part of the tennis team and having those girls make her feel like just part of the team.
Yeah.
I like hanging out with my teammates. We're about to go bowling soon.
She likes to help. She likes to help anybody. She's very good at wanting to babysit even, or entertain kids.
Or take care of elderly people.
Right.
I want to be a nurse because I grew up in a hospital helping my nurses take care of others.
Jackie's a good example. Everyone should be like Jackie because she doesn't care what anyone thinks. If she sees something she wants to do, she'll go out and do it. Like, you can't tell her no. Like, if she sets her mind to it, she'll try her best to achieve it or accomplish it in any way.
Now that she's achieving and, you know, her self-esteem is just blossomed, it's just incredible. And I just didn't think we'd be here at this point, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful.
Nick was born with a condition which affects people in many different ways across their body. But his effects from it have been mostly on his face.
My condition grew as I grew, right? So like NF1 means neurofibromatosis. Neuro meaning nerves, fibroma meaning fibers, matosis meaning mass. It's like if you imagine like a regular nerve line, my nerve line is like, has a bunch of nerves, and for me it's covered in a plexiform. Bumps around my body and stuff. I started noticing my condition probably in about 7 or 8 years old. The bumps here, yeah, these are all part of the condition, yeah. That's a mole, that's different. But that's part of it. That's one of the biggest ones I have for sure. My chest has a bunch of bumps as well. When I started getting my following on social media and stuff, I always got the same kind of questions. Like, the biggest one was, how do you shave? I usually just say, how do you shave? Because, you know, it's shaving. You put the shaving cream on, just make sure you don't cut yourself. But the flaps are pretty soft, squishy, and malleable, so it's pretty easy to go. Just rub up against them and get it done.
Hey Nick.
Well, recce time.
You got breakfast? Nice. So how's it going on social media? You know, Instagram, TikTok.
It's not bad. I haven't made a video for a while, but my videos still do pretty good.
Not wanting to let his condition get the better of him, he took to TikTok.
When I hopped on TikTok, it just took off. What I enjoy about TikTok is just the way it's helped me express myself.
There's no way you just use Face ID.
Dog, I'm surprised too. It's helped me get to where I am today.
Yo, look. So it's been a while. You want to make one today?
I'm down, dude. Gotta think of some. Let's do it.
All right.
My little brother, he's been a rock through all this my entire life. He's always like supported me and defended me through high school.
Nick was looked at in the hallways differently. It was weird because I'm the younger brother, but I'd try to be protective of him. We've had some problems in high school, but nothing we couldn't get over. And as brothers, that makes us stronger.
Growing up, I guess looking back in retrospect, it was different than most like people, but at the same time, it felt like, you know, a normal experience because, you know, it's normal for me, right? We go down there, I can pull up and like say, we just got back from your mother's house.
Close to the surgery, just maybe spread the message. I don't know.
So more about the surgery? What about if we said they wouldn't let me on the plane? I gotta take this. There's no other way.
Said you need to be double vaxxed for the surgery to fly, so you take the lawnmower all the way.
How many surgeries do you have so far?
So far, just the 2, but this third one coming up this August is gonna be my most extensive, biggest surgery yet. It's definitely gonna be a big difference. People always say, "Oh, you're perfect the way you are. You know, don't let them go," and stuff like that. And I'm completely comfortable with how I look and how I am. But this surgery is more so for the fact that I want the weight to be gone, and I'd love to contribute to the research and development of NF1 and the surgeries that come with it.
It's a good idea, I think. I hope so.
I gotta go all the way to Ontario. It wouldn't let me fly, so I gotta take this. It's gonna be a long trek, but we got this, fam. Let's do it.
Yeah, I watch all of Nick's TikToks, and I think it's great the way he expresses himself on the internet. TikTok's such a massive platform, and it's getting him a lot of recognition.
On TikTok, I say I love my flaps, right? So what I mean by that is that these flaps here, like, there's a few of them, and in the crevices of the flaps, like, I'm able to hold stuff and, like, use it more of like a utility tool. If I can demonstrate here. A ping pong ball, right? Like, that can fit right in there, no problem. I don't think the surgery is gonna affect me too much, but at the same time, like, the last one kind of did mentally. It kind of helped me get to where I am now. So I'm hoping to find out that, you know, brings me the idea that there's more to life than just living it one way. I never imagined I would get this many followers from the posting and from anything like that. Extremely grateful for what it has become.
His videos crack me up a lot of the time, but it also helps a lot of people that are in similar positions to Nick and have whatever going on in their lives, and it shows them that you can do something with any adversity that you're faced with. A lot of people sit down and just say, you know, woe is me, but Nick has really taken it, and he's made himself stronger with it.
If condition was all gone, I would definitely miss it because it's part of who I am, right? And like, I've grown accustomed to it, and I'm a fan of it myself. Even if there was an option to get it all removed, I don't think I would take that. To still have the condition and still have that as a part of my identity is pretty important to me, for sure.
Dwayne was the first person in his family to be born with a rare craniofacial disorder.
We had Chloe, and Chloe was fine, and then we had Ariasha.
Do you like taking your ears off to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why's that?
Because then I don't hear Chloe talking.
Dwayne's had to navigate the world alone, looking dramatically different to the rest of his family and peers.
Okay, I can do it. Treacher Collins is a birth syndrome that affects a couple key chromosomes genetically. Craniofacial defects, which can include microtia, i.e. I have prosthetic ears. Eyesight, hearing, I don't have cheekbones, tear ducts, all sorts of craniofacial deformities that are different. And of course, that's something you're born with. And of course, the advantage for me is it makes you extremely memorable. No one has ever forgotten my face. But thankfully, it does not affect your mental aptitude or your physical aptitude. My ears are magnetically attached, and I take them off every night to sleep, or when I go swimming, or when I play in the lake. So sometimes it's like being Mr. Potato Head. You know, I gotta go to the water, go to bed, and take myself apart. I can take my hearing aid off. Yeah, so I was born in 1984, and so the knowledge about Treacher Collins Syndrome was very new. There was really no community, there was no Facebook. So growing up, I would get, what's wrong with your face? For me, I always fell back on self-deprecating humor to make light of the situation.
So when I met Dwayne, I did not know anything about Treacher Collins Syndrome. I just knew his face looked different. And I just realized that everything that I liked about him, about his personality and his character, all of that came from his life experience growing up with Treacher Collins Syndrome. So if he didn't have Treacher Collins Syndrome, maybe he'd be like a total jerk and then I wouldn't like him. We've been married for
9 years. There you go. You married this funny face.
Yep.
In my family, I am the first case with Treacher Collins Syndrome, so there's no genetic condition before my birth.
And it's our house, and right now this picture is the room we're in.
We had Chloe, and we had her ultrasound at 20 weeks. You know, we did ask the ultrasound tech, like,
They're all over, they're all over.
does she have ears and cheekbones? And the tech is like, yeah, and fingers and toes. And we're like, no, seriously, like, does she have cheekbones? Like, can you actually look? And everything looked fine, and Chloe was fine. And then we had Ariasha. Like, I guess because we'd like been there, done that, it like wasn't even in our minds. I was just really thankful when Ariasha was diagnosed, like that she had Dwayne to look up to, and we knew, you know, we knew everything that he'd been through. She does really well, like navigating the world with hearing loss. Basically, if she's not wearing her hearing aids, I just have to talk like an angry man and she can hear me. It's mostly purple.
For context, I have 70% hearing loss. So I have to wear a hearing aid, otherwise you're yelling at me, speaking, you know, at my face. And I try and read your lips.
I don't know if Ariasha's noticed that she's different. She's noticed that I'm different, which is concerning to her. She's been trying to sell hearing aids to me. She's like, but how are you hearing with no hearing aid? Because my ears work? She's like, what? Like, there's no way. So she's pretty convinced that her and Dada have like super hearing and the rest of us are totally missing out.
How do you feel about your hearing aids?
Good.
Good? You like them? How do you like the headband?
Good.
Good? Do you ever feel funny?
Yeah.
Do you like taking your ears off to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah? Why's that?
Yeah. Because then I don't hear Chloe talking.
Yes, this is Ariasha's collection of headbands that I made for my daughter. And then recently, just because of the face mask issue, I've been adding little ear savers onto the headband that you can hook the face mask on. It was my idea to just try selling them and see what happened, you know. So I make custom headbands with like velvet lining, so it stays on really well, and it's also soft and comfortable. A lot of color options, so that kids can match their outfits. I think it helps kids' confidence a lot when they're able to wear a headband that they like. There we go. Looking good there, Anna.
With Ariasha getting older, Dwayne is thankful he'll be there to support her as she navigates the world looking different.
I wouldn't say I'm concerned about Ariasha being bullied, just knowing I've been bullied. It's gonna happen. That's just part of life. I think it's giving her the tools to handle bullying when it happens. There's a lot of that staring. Why do your eyes look so funny? Or what's wrong with your eyes? Why does she have those two things on her head?
Chloe is just so confident and bold, so she doesn't mind jumping in and answering questions and helping her sister. Oh, you'll get her. Get her!
I want you to be the lava monster.
The lava monster? Wow.
I'm not even going to.
And I'm dizzy. Oh my gosh.
And your ear fell off.
And my ear fell off. I think it's really important for people to understand that everyone's different. I mean, this day and age, right, it is mostly just learning to tell your story. There's nothing more powerful.
The Manarang family also believe they have an inherited facial condition.
Mungkin yang berubah daerah sini, kalau dulunya kan agak tembem gitu kan, cuman nggak kalah tembem kali, kalau sekarang ya agak cekung bagian sini aja sih, itu aja. Kami bersaudara ada 6, 5 perempuan, 1 laki-laki.
Out of the 6 children in their family, 4 of them are living with an undiagnosed and incredibly rare facial condition that has caused their faces to change shape.
Pertanyaan itu selalu pasti ada, kenapa bisa berbeda sendiri. Tapi kan udah beranjak dewasa udah ngerti kalau itu kan mengikuti gen dari orang tua. Mengikuti gen dari orang tua, kalau para kakak gen ayah, kalau aku gen ibu.
Despite many suggesting that the family have been cursed, they have realised that their condition must be genetic, as their father is also affected, but their mother is not.
Habis ini kemana kita, Kak?
Tidur.
Jangan tidur lah. Tapi kita mau keluar. Keluar dong, cari suasana baru.
The family is yet to visit a doctor for any idea about what their condition might be.
Keadaan sekarang ini nggak mengganggu sama yang namanya kesehatan atau kesehatan kami seperti biasa. Kalau mengganggu macam kami entah kecapean atau cepat itu mungkin ada kemungkinan besar diperiksa ke dokter. Kalau sekarang kan emang keadaannya tidak ada mengganggu aktivitas dan tidak ada mengganggu itu.
Adalah sayur kesukaanku, sayur bayam. Wow, kuat.
Saya
Popeye. Iya.
Due to the unusual nature of their looks, the family members who are effective have had to get used to people responding negatively to their appearance.
Kalau untuk berjalan-jalan di desa itu sebetulnya nggak ada masalah, nggak ada istilahnya ya maaf, nggak ada istilahnya atau gimana ya kalau kita bilang wih kok gitu mas, nggak ada yang hina lah gitu. Kalau tapi untuk daerah di dekat desa kita, cuman kalau misalnya kita keluar kota, di luar kota itu kan mereka memang nggak pernah jumpa sekali sama kita, pasti merekanya terkejut, itu aja sih.
Ini sih wajahku sih, karena aku tuh berbeda sama adikku. Ini adikku berbeda sih sama adikku.
kenapa sedih aku kalau mereka nggak kayak aku gitu. Biar kayak hidup normal aja gitu, tanpa ada bulian, tanpa ada hinaan, ejekan dari orang-orang gitu. Karena aku merasa sedih karena mereka juga ikutan sedih gitu.
However, even though they look so different, the family are well liked in their village that they live in.
Gimana kabar, sehat kan?
Alhamdulillah. Sehat.
Abang gimana?
Sehat. Kakak sehat juga kan, Kak? Pastinya kalau di dalam hati kita gitu kan ya pastinya berbeda, cuman ya gimana ya tetap kita jalani aja, kita syukurin aja. Orang memang itu udah pemberian dari Tuhan.
Their story recently made it onto social media, where it went viral, but not everyone reacted positively to them.
Viralnya
di aplikasi TikTok.
Jadi kita itu viral bulan Juni kalau nggak salah. Jadi semenjak kita itu viral itu mereka beranggapan kalau kita itu dikasihani gitu, karena kan kita itu cuma memanfaatkan peluang yang ada ya. Kita itu viral kan kali aja itu peluang rezeki kami untuk menaikkan derajat kami kan seperti.
Ya kalau saya pribadi tumbuh seperti ini ya saya nggak, kalau dulunya merasa minder sih, tapi kalau sekarang nggak ada merasa minder.
Kali aja itu peluang rezeki kami untuk menaikkan derajat kami kan seperti itu. Dan kita kan juga pastinya enak dong, banyak yang kenal dan kita juga bisa membuka diri kepada yang lain gitu, supaya memotivasi mereka juga kalau kita itu bisa sih, kita itu harus semangat memperjuangkan hidup, kalau kita itu harus bersyukur gitu. Tapi mereka beranggapan kalau kita itu menjual fisik supaya dikasihani, supaya kita bisa dapat uang, berarti kita bekerja menjual fisik dong. Padahal sebenarnya kita itu dengan keviralan kita itu.
Did you like these inspiring stories? If so, please like and subscribe and let us know in the comments.